Welcome to the Illinois Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. The presentation is being recorded and will be available within a week at strivescan.com/Illinois. And now I'd like to turn it over to our presenters. And first up is Pacific University, Oregon.
Awesome, thank you so much. And good evening, everyone from out here in Oregon. My name is Derek Nagley, and I am one of the admissions staff here. And in fact, at Pacific, I am going to be your admissions counselor when you apply. So I'm really excited to be here tonight to tell you a little bit about our school and what we have to offer for all of you coming over from the Midwest. And at Pacific, we're a small private liberal arts university. We're located in the northwest corner of Oregon. So for those of you who are familiar with the state of Oregon, we're in Portland and then keep going a little bit further west towards the coast. We're about 30 minutes from downtown and about an hour from the Oregon coast. So Forest Grove itself, where we're located, is a smaller city, still connected to mass transportation. You can get to the airport from our campus using mass transportation. You can be into downtown Portland in 30 minutes, but we're far enough away that the other direction, 5 minutes off campus, and you're hiking in the Tillamook National Forest, which is thousands of acres of forest trails to hike through. So definitely a really amazing area where we're located. Right between the Oregon coast and places like Nike, Xerox, Intel, and Columbia all have national headquarters around our campus. So it gives our students the best of both worlds, both being able to enjoy the outdoors of Oregon and being able to get out into the Pacific Northwest very quickly and enjoy the big city life as well. And Pacific itself, as I mentioned, we're a small private liberal arts university. We offer over 65 different majors, minors, and programs to about 1,900 undergraduates and about 2,000 graduate students as well. We're best known for the pre-health professions, so things like optometry, physical therapy, physician's assistant, but we also have nationally and regionally recognized business, creative writing, social work, and education programs as well. So you'll find whatever you're looking for at Pacific, even if you aren't 100% sure what that is going to be yet. On top of that, at Pacific, all of our students are given honors level classes, which means you are going to be able to know your professor. You're going to be in a small class of only average about 19 students. We have no large lecture halls that seat 300 or 400 students because that would be all of our incoming students. Instead, you're going to be in those small classes where you're interacting with a professor every single day, and all of our classes are taught by full professors. On top of that, at Pacific, for all of our degrees, we will offer you a 4-year graduation guarantee, which means at Pacific, when you come in to get that top of the line education, you're getting a 4-year education for that bachelor's degree, not 5th year, not 6th year, not victory lap, but instead that you get that full 4 years, and then you can take that next step right away. And on top of that, while you're at Pacific, we want you to start your job shadowing, research, and internship freshman and sophomore year, not waiting until you're junior or senior. Because at Pacific, we know it's really important that you don't just leave with a degree, a handshake, and a good luck, but that you actually have the resume to back that up so that as soon as you graduate in those 4 years, you can take that next step. You can go on to graduate school. You can go get a job right away. And by starting that early in the process, we help our students know not only what they want to study. In fact, you don't have to declare a major till the end of your sophomore year. So you have plenty of time. And you get to be a little bit more involved in that major starting out very early on in the process. We also know at Pacific, our students definitely need an opportunity to get out of the classroom and have a little bit of a break. So we offer over 70 different clubs and organizations on campus, ranging from student government to our gamers club, all the way over to academic clubs and our Hawaii club. Or maybe you want to join one of our performing arts groups in music, dance, or theater, where you do not need to major or minor in those programs to be part of them. We just want you to participate and be able to audition for those. Or joining some of our 24 NCAA Division III varsity athletics in the Northwest Conference, or maybe playing in our 20 intramural or 10 club sports. It's a very active campus. And our students love to be able to take what they're learning in the classroom out of the classroom and solve real world problems, whether that's through the Outdoor Pursuits Office, taking trips into the Pacific Northwest, or maybe learning how to surf on the Oregon coast, studying abroad in 27 sites around the world, or doing 2 to 3 week travel classes as well, so that all students have that opportunity to study outside of the US while they're a student. We're giving back through community service, whether that's locally or doing one of those 3-week travel classes with a professor to do community service in another part of the country. On top of that, the great thing when you apply to Pacific, and we are rolling admissions. So whether you're a senior right now, maybe looking for a school for next fall, or you're a sophomore kind of thinking down the road, this information is going to be the same. And so at Pacific, you're going to apply using the common application, that all online application that works for about 700 schools. That's the only one we use. So you go in, you fill that out. And along with that, we're going to need your transcripts. We're going to need a letter of recommendation. And that's all we need for admission and for merit scholarship, because we are test optional. If you want to include your test scores because you feel it strengthens your application, go right ahead, but they are not required for admission or for scholarship. And at Pacific, when you're applying to Pacific, not a school within, not from in-state or out of state, not from a different area. All of our scholarships and all of our application is the same no matter where you're from. So what that means is no extra paperwork, no hoping you get a different sort of scholarship because you're from out of state, but that you can apply for the same opportunities as the students from Oregon. And at Pacific, our academic merit scholarships range from $15,000 to $27,000 per year for all 4 years. We have opportunities for you to come learn about campus through senior preview days, whether that's virtually right now or in person in the fall, or being able to do special interest and talent awards for things like music, dance, and theater. There's going to be an opportunity for you to earn scholarship. In fact, 99% of our students will earn scholarship when they come to Pacific University. And as I mentioned, I'm your admissions counselor. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We're glad to talk to you about your opportunities here, as well as I will put my information into the chat, so you can definitely copy and paste it from there, or take a quick screenshot of this little QR code down in the corner. But thank you all for listening. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your evening, and I look forward to learning or helping you learn more about becoming a boxer.
Great, thanks so much. Up next is Washington State University.
Hello, everybody. I will get my screen shared and we'll get going. Normally we would have Kim De La Cruz presenting for you all, but you guys get me. I'm Micah DeMarco. Kim purchased a house yesterday, and so she's busy moving in, which is exciting. So I'll be presenting to you all. I am an admissions counselor for WSU. I'm also a third generation alumni. So grandparents went to WSU, parents, and now I'm a graduate and I live in Pullman still. So we'll get started talking about WSU. We're in Pullman, Washington. You've probably never heard of it because it's a college town. It's right on eastern Washington's border between Washington and Idaho. So right on the border, about 8 minutes. We've got an airport. That's always the next question is, okay, now that I know you're not in a big city, how do I get there? We've got an airport. I typically fly from Chicago to Seattle, and then Seattle just directly into Pullman. The city of Pullman is 2/3 college students, meaning it's a small town. It's also incredibly safe. We are one of the safest schools in the country. We're the safest in Washington. It's a great place to be. And I love that because it's a college town, everybody's there for school. They're there for the first time together. It really makes the community pretty tight-knit. Last year's class, our COVID class, came in with about 3,500 students in our freshman class and about 1,000 transfer students. In a typical year, we're looking at about 5,500 or so students coming in. Student to faculty ratio, multi-gen, all of those ratios are up there. The big thing that I like to talk about is really that we know our students are coming to us really from all over the place. We have students from, like it says, all 50 states and over 100 countries. We know that we have a lot of different students with diverse backgrounds. We've got a lot of resources at WSU to help students be successful, regardless of where they're coming to us. Things to do in Pullman. As soon as you hear it's a college town, students think, all right, well, are there things to do? Yes, of course. We're a Pac-12 Division I school for sports, so athletics are big. Student entertainment is big. Right before we shut down with COVID, we had both Billie Eilish and Khalid on campus, just about a week apart from each other. So lots of really cool entertainment, clubs, sororities, a little bit of everything. The thing I like to really focus on is because everybody's new to WSU, everyone's new to Pullman, we place a really large emphasis on getting our students involved right away. And so you'll see pretty large numbers of students involved in Greek life. It's over 1/3. Clubs, it's going to be well over 2/3, etc. What can you study? Just about everything. We're a pretty big school, so over 200 fields of study, our largest being business, engineering, communication. We have our own med school, veterinary school, pharmacy school, nursing school. Just like my colleague before me, we are not admitting into any specific major, so you're welcome to switch your major as many times as you want. I changed mine 3 times before landing where I did. Not a big deal at all. You're more than welcome to switch around. We're tier 1 for research. We've got study abroad programs programs across the globe. My favorite study abroad fact is we were the only school in the country that was authorized to have students study abroad in Cuba before the federal embargo was lifted. So kind of cool. Admission, fairly simple. We take the application, which is pretty much fill in the blank, no essays, no letters of recommendation. And then we need your high school transcripts, and that's it. We are not looking at test scores. You can send them in, but they won't be looked at for admissions purposes. And then we're admitting based off of your GPA, the classes you've taken, course rigor, etc. Our average unweighted GPA this past year, as you can see, was about a 3.48. I like to have this up on the screen in case anyone wants to take a really quick screenshot or photo of it. But here's the total cost of attendance. Most of you will be non-Washington residents. Instead of talking about the total overall cost, I like to talk about the scholarships because those are where the differences can be made. For our out-of-state students, we have 2 different scholarships that you could be awarded. These are automatically given to students based off of their GPA. So if you have an unweighted GPA of a 3.2 to a 3.59, it's an automatic $7,000 per year off of your tuition for 4 years. And if you're at a 3.6 or above, you instead get $11,000 off a year. So pretty good deal. Our application opens every summer in June or July. It's due to us by January 31. And then we keep with the national deadline of May 1 to tell us where you want to go. It's a super quick rundown. I talk fast and I know I do, but I want to be respectful of everyone's time. If anyone has any questions, all of my contact information is up there and I'd be happy to get any questions you might have answered, or to get you in contact with Kim once she's back. She will be your admissions counselor and is happy to help. So thank you all for coming, and I'll pass it off to our next college.
Great, thank you so much. Up next is Hawaii Pacific University.
Aloha, everyone. Let me share my screen. Thanks. One second, sorry. Aloha, my name is Susie Prenovo. I am Associate Director of Admissions for Hawaii Pacific, and I am regionally based in the Seattle, Washington area. So part of my region includes Illinois, so I'm very happy to recruit and work with students from the Chicago area. So now let's take a look a little closer at our university. So here we are in downtown Honolulu. We are an urban campus, tropical waterfront, but big city atmosphere as well. We have about 4,000 undergraduate students, so we are a small to mid-size university, yet we keep our classes small, average class size of about 17, and a 12-to-1 student-faculty ratio. I'm going to talk a little bit about the different majors that we have, about 50 different ones, and we were founded in 1965. So let's take a little closer look at the island of Oahu. We are located, again, right in downtown Honolulu. So that is, and Oahu itself is called the gathering place. So it is the most populated of all the Hawaiian island chain. We also, besides our downtown location, have a more rural setting. We call it our Hawaii Loa campus. So that's the other bullet right there. And it's about 9 miles in between each side of campus. We do run a shuttle between the 2 sides. For our marine biology, oceanography, and environmental science student, we also have a research facility called Oceanic Institute. So here now you'll see some of our pictures of campus. Again, downtown, right in the heart of the state capitol, our Hawaii Loa campus, and then our Oceanic Institute. So one thing that we're well known for at Hawaii Pacific is our diversity. So we are one of the most culturally diverse private universities in the US, with students from all 50 states and over 70 countries. About 60% of our students are from out of state, so you're not going to be the only one coming from far away to join us as an HPU Shark. And really this creates a great sense of family when our students arrive, getting to know each other, participating in orientation and all of the activities in our first year programs. Let's take a look at our different majors that we offer. So we are known for sciences, including our marine biology and oceanography program. We also have the largest school of nursing in Hawaii. Another large program with us is our School of Business, and we take full advantage of being right in the heart of the financial district of Honolulu as far as internships go. Some new programs that we offer are called Arts and Markets. So that takes music, theater, and visual and studio arts combined with business classes. We also have brand new engineering, including a new computer engineering program. So all of our majors are direct entry. You apply directly into the major and you're accepted into the major. There is an exception though with our nursing. We do have a little more in-depth application process for those students. For the classroom experience, again, small class sizes. This past year, we did a combination of online, in-person, and hybrid classes. So we are anticipating for this coming fall, in-person learning, still socially distanced, taking precautions, also with some online offerings, but we are excited to welcome our students on campus. For all students, all majors, we have a 100% internship guarantee. So within the 4 years, and maybe more than once, our students will be able to do internships, whether it's right there on island, on the mainland, or international internships as well. Hands-on opportunities are paramount, especially with our science programs, including, of course, marine biology. So pictured here is students on our marine vessel, called the Kaholo, and it actually has its own Instagram page. But our freshman students are literally jumping in the water, getting their feet wet, learning the equipment, really diving deep into their particular major. For students that want to go above and beyond with their academics, a little more of the multidisciplinary approach, even smaller classes than normal, we have our residential honors. So that is our honors college. It's a 4-year program. And then we do have scholars program. These are more intensive 1-year introduction programs for specific majors, including our business programs, marine biology, and our nursing. For admission, we have our own application on our website, as well as the Common App. We are test optional, so certainly if you are very proud of your SAT or ACT score, send those in. Otherwise, no worries if you don't have it or you don't choose to send those in, it will not affect your admission. We offer many different opportunities for you to get a fee waiver. So right now the code is Susie21, that's me. But if you're a junior or sophomore listening, each year we have fee waiver options as well. Our cost, again, we are a private university, so no difference between in-state and out-of-state. And hi, Matt, looks like I'm out of time, but let me put my info right here. And thank you so much for listening to my information. Mahalo.
Great, thank you, Susie. And next up is Chaminade University of Honolulu.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Aloha, everyone. My name is Dior Ashton Teodosio, and I'm the Senior Admission Counselor here at Chaminade University of Honolulu. And I'm really excited to be able to share with you a little bit more about what we offer here at Chaminade. Our university is located in Hawaii, specifically on the island of Oahu. Chaminade is tucked away in the neighborhood of Kaimuki, and we're less than 2 miles away from the famous Waikiki Beach, and about an hour away from the best surf spots in the state. But Kaimuki, again, is a small residential neighborhood with a ton of history. We have the best local coffee shops, old school diners, farmers markets, and quirky antique shops. Our university faces Waialae Avenue, and Waialae was just voted #1 as the best food block in the state of Hawaii. So if you're a foodie, this is definitely the place you want to be. Some of my favorite places in Kaimuki are going to be Kimchi 2, which has the best barbecue short ribs, Holly Vietnam, which is a little pho place. So on those cold winter Hawaii days, that's definitely a great place to visit. Or if you're just wanting a great spot off campus to study, we have some of our local coffee shops like Coffee Talk and The Curb, which is just right down the street. Now that you know a little bit more about where we are located, here's a little bit more about our university. So Chaminade was founded in 1955, and the pictures on the right-hand side is what our university used to look like back in the day. We are located on a 65-acre hillside called Kalaipohaku. We're home to a little over 1,300 undergraduate students coming from 14 different countries, 40 different states and territories. We have a warm, family-oriented campus Ohana, and as a small private liberal arts university, our students receive a personalized education that prepares them for an ever-changing future. We offer 25 majors through our traditional day undergraduate program and our online program. And as a Catholic Mariness and Native Hawaiian serving institution, our goals inside the classroom are attuned to the real world, geared to promote justice and peace and the dignity and rights of everyone. With our average class size about 18, it's really easy for you to talk with your professors and talk with your peers and get that organic mentoring that you may be looking for. With our 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio, our professors get to know you for you. So all of our professors are well known and still very active within their fields, which makes networking opportunities and internships really more accessible for our current students and alumni. Some of our most popular majors here at Chaminade are going to be our Forensic Sciences program, Environmental and Interior Design. Those two programs are unique to us. So we're the only one in the state of Hawaii to offer forensics and environmental and interior design. We have our nursing program, business administration, biology, and criminology and criminal justice. So that's just 5 of our best majors, but we have a ton of different ones that you might be interested in. All of our programs are direct entry, so including our nursing program. From the first semester of your first year here at Chaminade, you're in that introductory course into your major. Here at Chaminade, we're dedicated to giving back to our community, and 100% of our students will participate in service learning. As our professors are educating you inside the classroom, we have a team of staff members that are here to support you through your college experience. Through our Office of Student Activities and Leadership, we have over 30 clubs and organizations on our campus. And these are going to be clubs ranging from cultural clubs to academic clubs to adventurous clubs. In fact, our adventure club goes hiking, surfing, ziplining. They just went paddleboarding a couple weeks ago. And then our cultural clubs will put on a showcase each semester to celebrate the diversity that we have here on campus. We are NCAA Division II PAC-West Conference for athletics, and our campus ministry has numerous volunteer opportunities for students to participate in. Some of our students do take advantage of our study abroad opportunities and our semester at sea programs, and as well as our guaranteed internships for all majors and our summer research opportunities for students that are interested in research. We don't have a live-in requirement here at Chaminade, so for first-year students, we really just want you to make that transition however you feel the most comfortable. And through our amazing financial aid scholarships, we are committed to making college affordable for all students. Our tuition here ranges from $26,000 to $33,000, and that is going to be the set price for whether you're in-state or out-of-state. 97% of our students receive some form of financial aid, and we have about $15,000 for the average amount of scholarships and grants. We do award merit-based scholarships, which are automatically awarded upon acceptance, so there's no additional application that you need to complete. And if you identify as Native Hawaiian or Catholic, we have signature scholarships that you can apply for. We are rolling admission and are still open for students that are interested in applying for the fall 2021 semester. We have a holistic admission approach through our review process, so we're looking at you as a whole student. All we need is for you to apply, whether that's through our institutional application or through the Common App, request for your high school transcripts to be sent directly to us, and then write a personal statement telling us a little bit of why you're interested in Chaminade. There are additional application requirements for international students and students that are interested in our nursing program. Now, as I wrap up my 6 minutes with you all, here are some ways to stay connected to our university. You can schedule an in-person or virtual campus tour with one of our student ambassadors, or an informational session with myself or one of my colleagues to learn a little bit more about our university. So I'll put my contact information in the chat if you do have any questions. Mahalo for your time and a hui hou.
Great, thank you so much. And next up is Willamette University.
Thanks, Matt, and good evening, everyone. My name is Claire Lightson. I'm one of the Senior Assistant Directors in the Office of Admission at Willamette University, and I am originally from Illinois. I obviously live out here in Oregon now, but it's wonderful to be able to connect with students from your state, and I am happy to chat about what the transition was like to the Pacific Northwest. But let's go ahead and jump in here. Willamette University was founded in 1842. We are a four-year private liberal arts institution supported by 3 professional schools. So the Atkinson Graduate School of Management, our College of Law, as well as the Claremont School of Theology. Additionally, we are one of the 40 colleges that change lives. If you haven't heard of that organization before, I would encourage you to check out of the other schools that are on that list. There are wonderful schools listed there, but we have been one of the 40 colleges that change lives for all 3 iterations of it. A quick numbers snapshot for you here. We have 1,800 undergraduate students and 600 graduate students, so we are primarily an undergraduate institution. We have 52 academic programs, so there's certainly no shortage of opportunities for things to study. We have an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and our average class size is 17. So I usually joke with students, if you are hoping to be anonymous when you go to college, Willamette might not be the best place for you, right? You're going to see familiar faces everywhere that you go. We own 305 acres of land just north of our campus, which is called Xena. It's kind of an outdoor lab for particularly our environmental science and biology students, taking collegiate level field trips, if you will. We also have a 54-year partnership with Tokyo International University. Their satellite campus is called Tokyo International University of America, or TIUA for short, and they send about 100 international students over every year, and they're embedded into our campus culture. It's a wonderful cross-cultural experience for our students to be able to engage with these international students. We're 76 feet away from the state capitol in Oregon, and I'll show you a picture of that here in a moment, but 80% of the interns in that building are Willamette students. So I think that speaks really well to the outside of the classroom experiences that our students have to be able to kind of craft their professional resumes. And last but not least, we have over 66 study abroad partnerships. So if you are interested in pursuing study abroad, that is certainly something we encourage and have many opportunities for you to participate in. Since we can't be together, I'll show you a few fun photos of our campus here. This building right here is Waller Hall. This is the original building of Willamette University back when we were founded in 1842. I just mentioned the state capitol directly across the street here, again, 76 feet. And these are one of my favorite parts of our campus. They're called the star trees. They were planted on Willamette's 100th birthday, and they are the largest sequoia trees outside of the redwood forest in California. And they are quite the sight to see, and I hope you get to see them in person someday. They get their name, the star trees, because if you walk under them and then look up, it actually creates the shape of a star in the sky, which I think is pretty cool. This is another one of my favorite spots on campus. This is called the Mill Stream that runs through campus and connects to the Willamette River, which is where we get our name. We have our beautiful undergraduate library in the background here with the clock tower. And this green space that you see with the white Adirondack chairs is kind of the student social hub. It's hard to walk past here without being able to see a familiar face, students studying, meeting with a faculty member, having lunch, you name it. Here's a picture of a pretty traditional double occupancy residence hall, just to give you an idea of what that might look like for us. Talk briefly here about our academic experience. 2 distinctions to know about Willamette. One of my favorite pieces of our academic experience is called our hearth system. And for sake of example, let's talk about the chemistry hearth, even though every academic department has its own hearth. If you think of it like a family room, let's say you had a chemistry class earlier that day, and then you wanted to go study in the chemistry hearth. And so there's comfy couches, tables, and chairs, and you're among people who you had class with earlier that day. So you can talk about experiences that you had in the class, and then surrounding that space are your faculty offices. So it's a really wonderful opportunity to be able to ask questions about class, internship, research opportunities, all very connected there. Experiential learning is huge for us. A part of Willamette's mission statement says that we're turning knowledge into action. And so we encourage students to have those out of the classroom experiences. One of our general education requirements is actually called an experiential learning credit, and we require students to do one of 3 things before they graduate: study abroad, do research, or have an internship. I mentioned earlier, we have graduate schools, which means we also have dual degree programs. So we have dual degree programs in law, business, and data science on our campus, a 3+3, a 3-2, and a 3-1 respectively. And then we also have 3-2 forestry and 3-2 engineering with partner schools from Duke, the University of Southern California, Washington University in St. Louis, and Columbia University in New York City. We also have a few new undergraduate majors in business, public health, and data science. So we are expanding both our graduate and undergraduate opportunities for students there. Talk a bit here about life outside of the classroom. On average, our students are involved in about 2 or 3 things outside of their academic experiences. And there's obviously no shortage of things to do. We have over 100 clubs and student organizations. Our campus recreation program being one of our most popular. We offer about 120 outdoor trips every year, from hiking, skiing, snowboarding, surfing, whitewater rafting, you name it, all of those wonderful fun things. We also have a handful of multicultural and affinity groups for students who are looking to be in community with those who identify the way that they do. And we also have a very, very robust student government, and students can be a part of that starting their first year on our campus. About 25% of our undergraduate students participate in varsity athletics. We have 19 NCAA Division III varsity teams, and we will be 20 this coming fall. We're very excited to be offering women's triathlon varsity teams starting in the fall of 21. We also offer club and intramural sports. Club is still a little bit as competitive, but you don't have to try out for the team like varsity. We have music ensembles and performing arts clubs. About 20% of our students participate in fraternity and sorority life. I'm out of time here as I see Matt coming up. Here's a little bit about our application and scholarships. We do offer merit scholarship with our application, and you can apply for competitive scholarships on top of that. And then we obviously accept the FAFSA as well. My name is Claire Lights, and if you do have any questions, look forward to chatting with you and working with you through your college search process.
Great, thank you, Claire. And our final presentation for this session is from the University of Oregon.
Hello, everyone. I am filling in for Sarah Goldman. She is the regional admissions counselor in Illinois. So happy to be here tonight with you all. I believe my screen is showing. See, sometimes. I just played with this too. Okay, got it. Great. Okay, so again, my name is Olivia Mammon. I'm the regional admissions counselor for the University of Oregon. First and foremost, how do you guys get over to Eugene to see us? So from Chicago, we do have some direct flights straight to Eugene. You're also able to fly into Portland. We do have an airport up there. Some students fly into Portland, and we do have shuttles that will take you from the Portland airport down to Eugene. We are located in Eugene, Oregon, and Eugene is U of O is a public liberal arts research institution located in Eugene. We're about 2 hours south of Portland and an hour from the coast in the Cascade Mountains, respectively. So if you're someone in the Midwest and you're trying to get away from the snow, we don't get a whole bunch down in Eugene, but if you someone who definitely is going to miss the snow, you can sneak off to the mountains, which are an hour away, or go onto the coast. Of course, we do experience all 4 seasons. So we do have a lot of outdoor recreation opportunities for students. So depending on the time of the year, you're able to go kayaking or hiking or surfing, whatever it is that you like to do. We are also 3.5 hours from the California border. So if you want to go down to California, it's a pretty quick and easy drive. We are ranked as a green city based on factors such as our air quality, recycling, biking and transportation. If you come on our campus, you'll see those recycling bins everywhere. We really believe in sustainability on our campus, and you'll see that as a trend everywhere that you go. When it comes to our rain, it does rain, of course, to keep things so beautifully green. The amount of rain we get is comparable to New York, and it doesn't rain all of the time. A fun fact that I love about just the whole state of Oregon is we have the very last Blockbuster in existence in the state of Oregon. So that's something that is pretty fun. All right, getting into our campus demographics. We have about 23,000 students total and almost 19,000 undergraduate students. We have students from all counties in Oregon, all 50 states, as well as over 100 countries around the world. So when you take classes with us, you're getting experience and exposure to students from all over. Our median class size is 20 students, and we do have lectures that can get up to 520. Those are always paired with a smaller discussion class, so you can get that intimate conversation with some classmates and really understand the material that is going on in class. Our campus is 295 acres. We have 5,000 trees on our campus representing over 500 species. Our campus is an arboretum, which is a fancy way of saying a museum of trees. It's really a beautiful place to go to school. Eugene offers the quintessential college environment and is a leader in sustainability. Everywhere you go around town, you'll see people sporting green and yellow. We have a lot of hiking and biking trails around our campus that students can take advantage of. And when you become a student, you get an ID card, which allows you to take the bus, and you can take it throughout the city downtown. Or if, like me, when I was a student, I like to take it from one end of campus to the other instead of walking some days. So as long as you are a student, you have that pass and are able to take the bus wherever you want to go. We do offer 168 majors for students to choose from. Our most popular school, population-wise, is the College of Arts and Sciences. 60% of our students are in this college, and this is going to have programs such as English, biology, history, and theater. We also have other professional schools like our College of Business, which is in the top 1% of business schools worldwide. We have a College of Design, which has our architecture program in it, and our sustainable architecture program is highly ranked as well. College of Education, School of Journalism and Communication, School of Music and Dance. We have our law school. And we also have our Clark's Honors College, which is one of the top 10 public honors colleges in the country. And this is for students who really want to challenge themselves a little bit more. If you're taking maybe AP or IB classes, this may be a program that you want to look into as a pretty intimate setting, and even smaller student teacher or student faculty ratio in this program. And yes, my buttons aren't working, guys. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so why the University of Oregon? We are a Tier 1 national research university, like a few others on this panel. Nearly 3/4 of our students conduct some type of research. We're really proud of the fact that we're part of the AAU, which is the Association of American Universities. We're given this title because of the amount of impactful research that we do at the University of Oregon, and the work that we do creates major advances for areas such as health and medicine, communication, food and economics, and national security. We also, I'm so sorry, my slideshow is just doing things on my end. We offer more than 250 clubs and organizations for students to join on our campus. We also are a Division I athletic school for students. So if you are interested in athletics, something that we say in our stadium, which I really love, is that it never rains in Autzen Stadium. Of course, this confuses people who are there. Of course, it rains, but the spirit is so high that you can't feel it. I can tell that my timer's running up and I can't even see the screen. That's what's going on here. But I will put this contact information in the chat. We do holistic review. And this is Sarah's information. And if you have any questions or want to set up a meeting, you're able to set up a meeting with her, and we can go from there. Thanks.
Great, thank you so much. So those are our presentations for this session. We do have a few minutes for Q&A, so I'll ask all of our presenters to come back on screen and respond to this question. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll start back with Pacific University, Oregon.
So one piece of advice I always like to give families is when you're looking for colleges, don't focus on one word. As all of my colleagues can attest, colleges have a really annoying habit where we will rename anything we possibly can just to sound unique. So when you're searching for colleges, don't look for one specific word for a major or one specific word for a club, because what it might be called at Pacific might be something very different at Hawaii Pacific. And just in our names, you can get us confused sometimes anyway. So it's things like that where don't look for just one word, broaden that search a little bit more, and you'll find a lot more opportunities that are out there for you.
I'll go next because I think I was next in line. Mine is probably one of the least popular, is reading your emails. We send everything via email. We send it other ways too, but I can't tell you the number of students who missed our scholarship deadline 2 days ago and now won't get any money. And before I could have given them a lot. So reading your emails, an unpopular answer, but it's my answer.
My advice is do not overlook this coming summer. If you are a junior going into your senior year, start working on your essay this summer. I know you want to have fun, but pretty soon, September is coming around. You got to get everything in, earlier the better.
think my piece of advice, especially now that we're in this COVID timeframe, is really see yourself, if you can see yourself on their campus, like go to the virtual, sessions, presentations, and see if you can be a current student there. Also talk with maybe their student ambassadors in their admission office too.
I agree with the email sentiment from WSU. I will add that when you're thinking about your college search, obviously we're all going to get a degree, right? You're looking at what you're going to study, but make sure that there are co-curricular experiences that you're interested in and you're not just going for a specific major. Who knows, you might get there and change your mind, right? There's so many different opportunities of things to study. So make sure it's a really well-rounded fit for you.
And my last piece of advice is making sure that you're talking with your admission counselors. We're humans, we're not scary people. We are literally hired to work with and help you. So make sure that you're taking advantage of that and talking with us about, what we, different things about our campus, and we will give you all the information that we can.
Great, thank you all. And our next question is, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
So one really unique thing with Pacific is actually about 15% of our students actually come from Hawaii out to Oregon to Pacific University, and they form a big chunk of our Hawaii club, but anyone can join it. And our Hawaii club actually puts on the largest student-run luau anywhere on the mainland US. So it's this amazing, huge luau that you get to go watch your friends dance on stage in front of thousands of people every year. And it's actually the biggest event Pacific hosts. It's bigger than our football games. So it's a really amazing opportunity to participate, or in my case, go watch your friends dance on stage.
I'll tweak my answer a little bit. It's not quite a tradition, but I have yet, and knock on wood, been to any airport or any country and worn a Coug hat, shirt, sweatshirt, and not gotten to go Cougs. And that includes in a really, really remote village off of Mexico. Really cool. So not quite a tradition, but it's my favorite part is no matter where you are, there's Cougs, or at least someone pretending they're a Coug and yelling it at you.
Great. So at Hawaii Pacific, we have a program set up for our freshman students called a Hawaii Spotlight Series. So we take our students off campus once a month to ancient Hawaiian cultural sites or beach cleanups. So they're really going to give back to the community as well as learn about the Hawaiian culture. So that's very exciting for our mainland students especially.
Our favorite tradition here is going to be our Taste of Culture event. We have a bunch of different types of cultural clubs based in the Pacific, even Hispanic, just random cultural clubs. And they'll put on an event and the students will create a dish, and then everyone gets to go around and sample different dishes from the different cultures.
Wonderful. Let's see here. I've been listening to everybody so intently. I should have been thinking of my own here. One of my favorite traditions on our campus is called the Bistro. It's a student-run coffee shop, and it was started by 2 students back in 1989. And to this day, because they wrote in their contract when they began the student-run shop that the cookies and the coffee had to be $1. I kid you not, they're about the size of your head. They make the best chocolate chip cookies if you're able to eat those. And who doesn't love dollar really good drip coffee? So that's one of my favorite pieces of our campus.
One of my favorite pieces of our campus is being a part of the Holden Leadership Center. So this center allows students to gain a lot of leadership skills. As well, we have a service learning program where students can study over spring break or during winter break. It's called an alternative break. And you can go abroad or you can go to another city and do some type of service learning program. So that was definitely my favorite part, being involved in that. I got to go to Nicaragua and other places.
Excellent. Well, thank you all so much. We are just about out of time. So I want to say thank you all for joining us. Thank you to our presenters. After you close this window, a very quick 4-question survey will appear. We do appreciate your feedback. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted, so please be sure to sign up for additional sessions. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as others at strivescan.com/Illinois. So thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your evenings.